How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to clear up some common misconceptions new players have so when you show up to the field, you can be more relaxed and have more fun. The first one is this idea that you can judge somebody's skill level by what kind of gear they have. There's no real correlation to it. If somebody's got nice gear, they've probably played long enough to be able to collect that gear, but it doesn't mean they've gotten good. A lot of times people just have the means, they'll play once and then they'll take off the next day and come back with $800 worth of gear. It doesn't mean they know what they're doing. They just see, somebody that they think is good, look at what they're using, and they go out and buy the same stuff or something similar thinking that that gear will make up for the lack of skill, and it doesn't. I mean, if you can throw more paint, yeah, you can throw more paint, but it doesn't really make you a better player. So don't think that whenever you see a group of guys standing around and they've got a high-end paintball gun, jerseys, pads, big pod pack, all this extra gear, it does not mean that they're a top player. They might know the fields a little bit, but they're not going to be considered. Usually, they won't be the top players. So don't be nervous or scared to play against those guys. They're really just there to have a good time, and they're not going to be pros. They're just there to have a good time. The second misconception I want to talk about is this idea that's come from a lot of YouTube videos and maybe some different posts online that a lot of the more skilled players are jerks, that they're gonna go out and try and pick on the new guys or give them a hard time. They want them to play just so they can shoot them up. It's not really true. The guys that are regulars at the paintball field want more people to show up at the field every week. So they're going to do everything they can to help you have a good time so you'll come back again later and you can play again, and they'll have bigger groups. Small groups playing paintball is not that much fun. It's still fun, but if you've got 3-on-3, it gets old kind of quick. If you get some 10-on-10, 15 versus 15, you can really have a lot of fun then. So when they ask to join in your group, if you're, with some friends and you're all new, or they invite you to join their group, take them up on it. They want you to have a good time, and they'll teach you things. They'll help you learn the field layout. They can give you tips on how to, make snapshots, when to move and how to move without getting hit. There's so much to learn. And if you only play with people in your skill level, then it's going to take you a lot longer to figure those things out versus playing with some guys that are more skilled than you are. And yeah, you may not get as many eliminations and you might get eliminated more often, but it's not that bad, and you're going to build skills a lot faster so that before you know it, you're the one showing other people how to get more eliminations and how to move. So that don't be nervous. Go up, say hi to them. If they ask to play with you or invite you to play with them, go for it. It's a great opportunity to learn. The third misconception I want to tackle is that paintball is really expensive. Paintball is a sport or hobby that can be really expensive or it can be fairly cheap, depending on your income levels. I know that's subjective, but it doesn't have to be really expensive. On the shelf behind me, there's two old rental guns that I picked up that have been refurbished, and I got them for like 75 bucks for both of them. On the top row, there's a Tipton 98, which is a little dated now. A lot of people, don't care for them and don't recommend them, but they are reliable and they're a couple $100. There's a Tippmann Stormer I picked up because I wanted to kind of try MagFed. It was 200 bucks and it can be hopper or MagFed. It's kind of nice if you want to try it out, I guess. And then there's a Tippmann Griffin that's like $70 new. It's not the best paintball gun in the world, but it'll do the job. It'll send paint towards the people you want to send paint at. And it works good enough. It's good enough to go out and have fun. So, yeah, you can buy an $800 EMAC or, dye, or I don't even know what all the different ones are. I don't really get into it like that. I've got a dye dam that I paid way too much for. It's fun. It doesn't make me any better, and I had fun before I got the dam. So you don't need to spend a lot of money to go out and have a good time. You just need to get something that you can go out there with. And if you don't want to do that or you don't play that often, you can just rent. Go each time and rent, you know. Depending on how you play, you don't even have to spend a lot of money on paintballs. You know, I think at my local field, a bag of paintballs is around $25. A case of paintballs is 60, 65, somewhere in there. But you know, the first few times I went out, I only went through about 500 paintballs during the day. So if you play with that slower firing rate, you can go 4 times a month and you're spending $15 each time on paintballs, and you know, out of that $60 case. So don't let the cost of paintball put you off until you look at all your options. You know, look at the used market, look at lower end markers, compare it to the price of just renting, because a lot of times it doesn't have to be as expensive as it seems like it would be when you go out there and look at what other people are using, because the people with the nice gear, that just means they had the disposable income to buy that nicer gear. I've seen people come out that have really nice electronic markers and they play with a pump because they have fun that way. You know, they'll spend half the day just running around with a pump, you know, single shot, pump it, single shot, pump it, because it's more fun to them. It's more of a challenge. I've gone out and played with just a pistol and 14 shots. I didn't do that well, but I had a blast, and I still do it every now and then because it's fun to play that way. So keep that in mind. If price is bothering you, look around. Talk to some people that go to your local field, or just go out there one day and hang around and chat with people. And I bet you'll find out you can play a lot cheaper than what you thought. The last thing I want to talk about is the ideas about how painful paintball is. Yes, it does hurt to get hit with a paintball, but it's not a long lasting hurt. It's pretty quick. It's kind of like getting popped with a rubber band, maybe something like that. It stings for, you know, maybe 30 seconds and then it fades away pretty quick. You'll find videos online that show people with, you know, great big old welts covering them just all over the place. Most of the time, almost every time you see something like that, it's because they decided to do something kind of dumb. You know, I mean, and I've done it. I've played an Iron Man match before. Those hurt. I mean, those do leave marks if you go play something like that. But Iron Man matches aren't that common, and nobody is ever going to try to force somebody to play an Iron Man match. It's really the dumbest paintball game you can play. I did it once, it was enough for me, but in normal paintball, you normally aren't going to be getting shot up like that. So don't be really stressed out about the pain. You know, I know sometimes little kids can't handle it as well, but you know, if you can take a rubber band pop, you'll probably be fine playing paintball. It's really not that bad, and you're not constantly getting shot. You know, it's you get hit, then you're out, and that's it. So, you know, one shot every half hour, sometimes further apart than that. I know here in Texas, it's pretty hot, so you know, I'll play a match and then I'll sit for another 30 minutes after that match to cool off and drink some water before I go back in. So don't sweat the pain. It's not that bad. You you can wear some padding that, you know, it's usually they'll you can rent it when you rent your marker and stuff like that. If you're worried about it, you can get padding. The mask protects your face really well. So don't sweat it. It's not going to be as bad as you make it out to be in your head. It's always way worse to imagine how bad something will be than it is when it actually happens. So that's four things I wanted to kind of go over, some misconceptions I wanted to, I guess, debunk or clear up. Hopefully you'll have a better time. You know, hopefully this helps somebody out. And if you've had different experiences, or if you've had the same experience, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what it was like when you started playing paintball, how it worked out, who helped you get into it, and you know, were people friendly? Did you have the same experience I've had? And I'm willing to bet almost everyone's had similar experiences where the skilled players helped them out. Uh, like and subscribe. It'll really help me out. I want the channel to spread so I can help, you know, grow the sport. That's my goal with it. If you're ever down in Texas around Waxahachie, check out Mad Dog's Paintball. It's a blast out there. It's where I spend my weekends, and I appreciate it. Catch you later.